Hi, I'm Robin Wischel with the Bahamas Weekly. I'm standing on the bow of the Highlander, a beautiful yacht owned by Forbes Magazine. We're in the marina at the Atlantis Resort on Paradise Island in the beautiful Bahamas. Why are we here? Well, some select Bahamians, the who's who of the Bahamas, has been invited on board tonight to celebrate the Bahamas with Christopher Forbes, the Vice Chairman of Forbes International. We hope to find out why we're all here, and we'll bring you that soon.
Hi, I'm Scott Masterson, Senior Vice President of Forbes. I'm the General Manager who takes care of a number of our properties, one of them being this yacht. I also have the Chateau in France, a mansion in London, and a few other places, and most of them are used for entertaining, and there is no better place to entertain than in the Bahamas. In the last 5 years, we've been here 4 times, usually for a 5-week stay. We introduce each leg of our trip. Each leg's about a week long, and we start with a party. This is our first this year. We bring on some government folks, some friends, some clients, some family people who we think that would enjoy this, and we go off on a wonderful 5-day cruise, come back in a week, change over, have someone else come on as the host of the boat, and do it again. This event, obviously we could sit here and just do advertising. We have some great tourism that we could do, but we have found that you bring the government in, entertain them, tell them a little bit about how much we like their country. Hopefully they then like Forbes and think Forbes is something that's worth being involved with, whether it's from an editorial standpoint. I mean, you are clearly involved in heavy tourism and other ventures, and one of the things that we like to be able to do is report on that. To have entree into that, you need to let them see who you are, what we're about, really put a face to it. And hosting tonight is Kip Forbes, one of the Forbes brothers, and he is probably our best ambassador for when we leave the States. Very active in Europe, Asia, and certainly down here in the Bahamas.
Hi, I'm Kip Forbes, the Vice Chairman of Forbes Inc. We're celebrating the Bahamas. Forbes has written about the Bahamas many times, and there's an awful lot happening here between what's happening right where we are. I mean, this is a pretty happening place here at Atlantis, and what's happening over in Freeport. There's all sorts of things happening. So we'll be chronicling that in the magazine and on the website, and letting people know what's happening down here. I've been coming here since long before you were born and before there was a bridge here. So longer than I like to think, and the change has been extraordinary. And Prime Minister Ingram is moving things forward, and it's very exciting to see what's happening. And there's a lot happening. I would love to tell you more about Forbes.com, but I'm the Forbes that is technologically challenged. I do know it brings more to the bottom line now than the print side does, so I'm big on dots, even if I don't know what to do with them. Over the years, done quite a few supplements on the Bahamas. It's been a source of both interest to our readers and the advertisers here, and advertisers are interested in the market. And I would like to think we've had a small bit to do with some of the development you see here around us. This is actually the 5th in a series. My father loved boats and persuaded his older brother that we needed a boat for the magazine. And as he was fond of saying, many CEOs think they can walk on water, but none of them ever wants to prove it. Once you've got them on the boat, they're yours. And it's been a great tool for us for selling advertising over the years. And I'm happy to have some of my colleagues on tonight, including Nuala Byrne, whose territory the Bahamas falls in. And so she's been working even harder than I have tonight. I was an art history major. I loved history, but when I finally got to university, I realized economic history wasn't going to cut it, and I was a slide whiz, so I ended up being an art history major. Well, actually, my siblings would think some of my greatest accomplishments were the collections I helped put together with my late father. When it came time to choose between, if you will, .com and some eggs we had, we decided eggs were not our future, dots were. So I'm glad we had eggs so we could afford to support dots.
And what kind of eggs are we talking about?
A couple of Fabergé eggs, which have been repatriated. But they're back in Russia, and Forbes is in Russia. We have a Russian language version which is doing incredibly well. So we're doing what we do best, and Mr. Fabergé is back where he belongs.
Ned Siegel, United States Ambassador to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I have been invited by Mr. Forbes to be part of the wonderful gathering of Bahamian dignitaries and many people in the business community just to get together and talk. The Forbes coming here, the Forbes group coming here, allowing and bringing everybody together in these times, economic times, gives everybody an opportunity to have a dialogue, to talk about where we are, where we think we're going, what we need to do. It's a wonderful, wonderful evening for everybody. The relationship between the United States and the Bahamas has never, ever been better. On every level, we understand what is expected of each of us. I have the privilege this Thursday to accompany the Prime Minister to meet the President of the United States, to talk about all of the issues that relate to both of our countries. I believe it's going to be a highly successful meeting because each of our countries understand what we need from each other to continue to operate on a level that allows for us to bring business to each other, to protect ourselves, to protect our borders from terrorism. So many different things that we share. We understand we both have in common democracy, the rule of law. That's what brings us together. We have the heart and soul of our country in the Bahamas. It is united.
I'm Francis Singer-Hayward. This is an evening that was created by my dear, wonderful friend Kip Forbes to celebrate the Bahamas, and I think we have celebrated the Bahamas. And what I hope is that the Bahamas is able to use the vast influence and power of Forbes to encourage investment and to promote the Bahamas.
How many times have you been on board this ship, the Highlander, the yacht?
Many times. The last major, I was just on board a couple of days ago, but the last major time was when we had a serious major party for Bernadette Christie, who was here tonight. My darling friend who I love so much, we gave a big party in her honor 3 years ago. And so that was the last time we had a great big party on board the Highlander.
I'm James Sarles, president of Coldwell Banker James Sarles Realty. We're a broker. We have the Coldwell Banker franchise in Grand Bahama Island. We've been invited. We're guests of the Forbes Magazine. It's been a fantastic evening here. Forbes Magazine is celebrating the Bahamas, so they've invited business people, politicians from Nassau and Freeport, just to celebrate the Bahamas. Forbes is very interested in the Bahamas. Bahamas really is on the upswing, and they're taking advantage of that, and they wanted just to get to know the Bahamas a little better. We're aboard the Highlander. This is Malcolm Forbes, one of his boats. I think it's 152 foot, and we went out in the harbor. It's just been a fantastic night. Any event with business leaders and people from around the world, and the Forbes, many of their friends are here pretty much throughout the world. So it's been a great networking event for me. We're expanding our business, really covering the entire Bahamas, the whole breadth of the Bahamas. There's 750 islands in the Bahamas, and Bahamas is, we have the beautiful water, we have a tax-free environment, close proximity to the States, and with the downturn in the economy in the United States, people from England and around the world really are looking to the Bahamas as a great place to invest their money.
Janet Albury, V.I.P Services Limited from Grand Bahama Island. Forbes Magazine asked me to put together a guest list for an evening of cocktails and dinner. Forbes Magazine is focusing on the Bahamas and want to do some special features in the future. So what they wanted to do was essentially reacquaint themselves with the Bahamas and to meet the government and to meet persons from the business sector, the legal sector, the financial arena. And it was a great opportunity for people from the different islands to come and represent the Bahamas. It was a wonderful opportunity to also network and for the players in the Bahamas to reacquaint themselves and get updated and find out what's going on in their areas. I think tonight was a success because we had such a fabulous turnout. And we were well represented in all the areas that we felt we needed to be represented in. I think that there were great opportunities for networking and also to have one-on-one conversations with Mr. Forbes. His family has long ties with the Bahamas. They love being here, spending time here in the Bahamas, not only sailing, but keeping a pulse on the market, finding out what's going on. We are a part of the global world, though sometimes we don't feel as though we are, but this is a way to reconnect and let people know that we all have a part to play. And we have to work together if we want to project the Bahamas onto a larger scale. So I think it was a great opportunity for people to come together and for us to realize that every area that we work in the Bahamas matters. I'm very hopeful that the cruise perhaps in the future could come to Grand Bahama Island, or the opportunity to meet on the Highlander. I think that great things are in store for Grand Bahama Island. I'm very positive and optimistic. I know that there's a lot of people working behind the scenes to make that happen. It'll be wonderful when we can live the reality, and I don't think that it's too far in the future to come. I think it's really going to start turning around, and there'll be economic opportunity and growth and full participation on a global level.
Peter Adderley, president of Creative Works, a PR marketing advertising firm based in Grand Bahama, and one of the coordinators for tonight's event. The Forbes have a rich history with the Bahamas. They've been coming in and out of the Bahamas for decades, and we're a country, our core industry is tourism, and we depend for a great part on foreign investment and visitors to come to the Bahamas. And there's perhaps no greater avenue or medium than Forbes Magazine. If you want quality visitors, quality investors, I mean, that's where you want to go. Kip Forbes continues to do a wonderful job of keeping this linkage. And as he so profoundly put it tonight, it was a celebration of the Bahamas. The special guest tonight was the Deputy Prime Minister of the Bahamas and Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Brent Simonet, who comes from one of the wealthiest families in the Bahamas. His father was the premier of the country before its independence, Sir Roland Simonet, and he has decided to give public service. It's a wonderful story, and so to have Forbes invite a great cross-section of the business people from the community, government, society, and to put that mix together and have a night like this, it speaks volume for Forbes, and it shows that the Bahamas, the potential is unlimited. Achievements and successes is worth telling, and you know, who better to tell the story than Forbes Magazine?
We're back in port here at the marina at Paradise Island, Atlantis, and everyone's been sumptuously wined and dined and satiated to the utmost. There is liqueurs flowing now, cigars are being clipped and enjoyed, and it's been a first-class experience here on the Forbes Highlander yacht.